world. Welcome back to the Showbiz Entertainment, and I'm your reviewer. The movie Vendetta, starring Dean Cain and The Big Show. Uh, it's a movie straight to DVD, and I want to talk a little bit about this movie. This movie follows the story of Mason Danvers, a Chicago detective who ends up finding his wife murdered on the floor against criminal Victor Abbott, played by WWE superstar Big Show. And after that, he becomes bitter. He becomes angry. He'll stop at nothing to get revenge. So he goes to prison and gets himself arrested, kills Victor's brother, and goes to prison. So basically, this movie is it's nothing you haven't seen before, but I gotta say this movie really is up there with a lot of violent action movies. I mean, there's a lot of killing on this movie. There's a whole lot of for instance, when Mason has one of Victor's men, and he pushes one of the guards, and they fall down. They hit the floor right there during a prison riot, and you can just see the guard's head busted open, and the other guy's dead. So that should tell you what this movie's about. This movie, I gotta say, Dean Cain was very he was very dark on this movie. This movie, you're not gonna see you're not gonna see bad guys. You're not gonna see good guys on this movie. This movie is just plain vengeance. What happens to a man who loses his wife, and he's willing to stop at nothing, and if he has to lose his soul, he'll lose it. And that's basically what happens. There's not any bad guys or good guys on this movie. This movie is just violent. This movie's about revenge. This movie is about I mean, if you're looking for action, okay, I understand that, but this movie has a little bit more. There's something else behind it. There's what happens to a man after you see something like that, like your wife getting murdered that way, and or you lose along the way, you lose yourself when you want to take revenge for somebody killing your wife or anybody. But this movie, Dean Cain was pretty good as Mason Danvers. He's I think he's very. I don't know if he was very at home with this role, but he did a stand-up job. And Warden Snyder, played by Michael Eklund. I've never seen this guy before. Kind of reminds me of like a nerdy, goofy-looking warden on this movie, and he kind of annoys me a little bit with the way he talks. You know, he kind of has that little. He doesn't say that in the movie, but after a while, it kind of annoys you a little bit. But as you see, as the movie progresses, this guy, he delivers. This guy's pretty good. This being the first time I seen this guy in this role, I enjoyed it. You know, like I said, he kind of annoys you a little bit in the beginning, and then as the movie progresses, he did a pretty good job. So Joe Gaynor, his partner, played by Ben Hollingsworth, was also good. I was very impressed by his role on here, and I mean, a lot of you're not gonna see too many likable actors on this movie. You're not really familiar with them, but you're gonna at the end of when you're done watching this movie, you're gonna be like, hey, this is pretty good. These guys. They put everything into this movie. They put performances were not stellar, but they were good. Okay, and of course Victor Abbott, played by WWE superstar The Big Show. No, just kidding. The Big Show. You know, the guy who puts people with a choke slam. The guy with a good fit. The knockout punch. Plays Victor Abbott, a criminal who just who gets himself sets himself up for prison time on this movie because he wants to get back at Mason at Danvers. So gets himself locked up again and becomes kind of like a ringleader of a prison gang, and he runs this. The Big Show runs the show on this movie, and the Big Show, I gotta say, I don't think this is by WW Studios, by the way, of course. The Big Show, he don't get a whole lot of like he doesn't get a whole lot of recognition, and I think he's a natural when it comes to acting. He needs a little bit, just a little bit more work, and I think I think having him as a sadistic rapist and murderer and criminal, that kind of fits him a little bit, yeah, because he is intimidating, right? But you want to see this guy play a role where he's not killing somebody, he's not hurting somebody, where he could be comfortable with the role, and then you're able to see how good this guy can really act, and this guy can act. You know, I mean, I thought it was a good performance. It's just, you know, I've been watching this guy in the ring for years. This pretty much sums up the way his WWE career is, because he's kind of like a mid-carder kind of guy, but I gotta say my hat's off to the Big Show. And this movie was released straight to DVD on June 12th, and I just barely got to see it. And I mean, in the end of the day, this movie is everything you expect it to be. It's got action, but like I said, if you're into violent movies, violent prison movies, brutal killings, vicious, there's a whole lot of it on this movie. All right. You're not going to be disappointed. And this movie, maybe if they would have explored more of the detective side of it, the police side of it, and created a balance with the prison scene. Maybe made it a little bit longer to kind of like see, okay, Mason Danvers, Detective Mason Danvers, and his partner or whatever or whatnot. Get to see them kind of develop their characters a little bit more. But what you see mostly in this movie is just Danvers is not. He doesn't care no more. He's gonna get his revenge. He doesn't care no more. He's not interested in being a cop no more. He just, all he has is his hatred towards Victor Abbott. So I mean, that's basically, I give this movie an 8 out of 10 because it's not too bad. It's a good movie. It's just your average violent prison movie. I mean, like I said, I've seen movies like Shawshank Redemption that were masterpieces. You know, they're about this kind of stuff. But like I said, go rent it at the Redbox. This movie is definitely worth watching. I highly recommend you. This movie's a rated R movie, so you might not want to have the kids around when you're watching this movie. But this movie, at the end of the day, is a good. It's a good time. Good time. It's like I said, I give this movie an 8 out of 10 because, like I said, it could have been a little bit longer, more self-explanatory. It had the action. It had everything you want. It had a big, huge prison scene where the inmates go nuts and they take over the prison. But like I said, Dean Cain, I'd like to see more of this guy again. I mean, we know him as he used to be Lois and Clark, but now he's kind of a fish out of water on this movie. But he kind of handled it pretty well, though. All right, you guys, this is Showbiz Entertainment. And I am still your reviewer.
Well.